Welcome, welcome. After a minor panic. So you're the host now, Brad, so it's all yours.
Thank you so very much. I am trusting that this is now going to work for me. Yes, indeed. Thank you so very much. Small technical issues, of course, but it'll be all right on the night. Everyone, thanks very much for coming by. Really appreciate it. It's a bad one. See. Right. What we are going to do, let me just share my screen. Yes, yes. Let me just share my screen and we can get moving. Thanks very much. Sorry for everyone for waiting, and really appreciate your patience on this. So, what we've got here today is that we're going to go through a little hidden gem that some of us may or may not have been aware of, and that is Excel dashboards and the fact that they're one of Excel's sort of so I'll just get my data up. They're one of Excel's little gems hiding in plain sight. Let me quickly show you. Has anyone ever played around with this? If you look at illustrations, what you'll see is no, sorry, there's my data. Right. Nothing's right. So, right. What we've got here this is the same object and shape management tools that you'll find in PowerPoint. And what we're going to be doing is looking to exploit these to get the sort of things that we want to design in a dashboard. In fact, roughly about 80% of PowerPoint's static design functionality is sitting there in Excel. What's interesting is that you can manipulate these and assign them values to get you where you need to go. And when you combine all of these, what you can do is start building with shapes and graphs and data, and they can form some very effective dashboards. There's no coding required at all. All you need to know is your way around a pivot table. So just to explain what's going on here, like PowerPoint, Excel is made up of layers. So what I've got there is an Excel spreadsheet. I've got a graph or two, and I've got a couple of shapes there, but effectively it's behaving like that. That's the architecture that we are looking at here. And as a matter of fact, what you can start doing is assigning values to these objects. That particular object is a text box. So you can assign a value to that. Now, I'll just jump off a few things so that people can. I want to get ahead of some of the hype and some of the objections that may be going through people's heads. First of all, can't we just get AI to do the whole damn thing? And you will see TikTok videos, YouTube videos, and so forth that will give you the idea that simply put your data into Claude, into ChatGPT, and hey presto, it will come out with a dashboard. Not necessarily. There's usually a lot of trickery that's going on behind that. So don't believe everything that you see. Number two is that if anyone has done any type of work with AI, what you'll notice is that the law of diminished returns starts kicking in. So what I mean by that is that you're aiming for what some people would consider AI perfection. You're thinking that I can actually get AI to do the whole thing. And you put in a few prompts, you put in a few inquiries, and that'll get you about 70 to 80% there. Fantastic. So you think, I'll just try a few more. That'll get you about 5 to 10% better. You put in a few more, and all of a sudden you're in the now you've done it zone. And you'll notice the quality of your work gets worse and worse. Anybody if you've ever done any sort of work with AI, what you will notice is that starts happening. It gets to the point, and then because of the size of the chat window, you start using up a lot of tokens, you start getting hallucinations, and it starts answering in a way that it thinks is what you want to hear, but actually isn't. So the gap between good enough and perfect is actually infinite. So don't think that you can just simply keep prompting this up so that you get a perfect chat. Perfect, the other thing is don't outsource your critical thinking. This is Matthew. He's an upcoming analyst, but then he put everything into ChatGPT, and now we can't even tie his shoes. Okay, you already know Excel, so what you'll do is build on that. This is the type of skill that companies need. Okay, this is the sort of thing that companies really can do. And it's not just within the realm of invoice management or credit or risk management, the sort of thing that us here at Callisto really have our sweet spot in. This could be for anything. This could be for asset management, finding out what sort of rental equipment that you've got out, finding sales funnels, all this sort of thing. Okay, and what we do is we take the raw data and make it easier to use. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, just don't become this guy. Don't become this guy. Okay, I'll show you what the sort of the roadmap of what we're looking at later. You can understand what's going on. And the fourth thing is when I get AI to build it, AI hasn't met your audience, but you have. And I'm sure your audience looks something like this. You've got Martha here. She's a CFO. You've got Patricia here. She's in charge of some department. Adam here, whatever he's up to. And there's two shady characters in the back. We don't know what they do, but whatever you do, make sure you never get an email from them. Okay. And each of these people have their own perspective. Okay. AI doesn't know what that perspective is. You do. And the approach that we're going to make here is going to be doing this. First of all, we'll be taking the raw data. Now, this is a flat file. Now, there's all manner of ways that you can make the flat file. I'm just going to show you a version of what I've got, and we'll build a dashboard from that as we go through. We'll be taking this data and turning it into information. So we'll be using pivot tables and helper tables to get us to that particular point where we can actually drill and get useful information from that. Typically, they will be using pivot charts, but we'll also be using helper charts as well. All of this is to build out our dashboard. All of it's to build that out to give the visual storytelling needed to the audience, so that hopefully we can get this a decision to get us there. Okay, a bit of cartoon, bit of sort of a caricature of what goes on. But what you don't want is to make it complicated. Okay, to help us navigate our new KPI dashboard, we've brought in Major David Hawk Ramirez from the 335th Fighting Squadron. Some of these, and I'll show you some of these, are absolutely ridiculous in the amount of complexity that they have in mind. What you don't want is to make it like an aircraft cockpit. Okay, and what I mean by that, these are you will see out online. We can help you with your dashboard and so forth like that. What they don't understand is that sometimes less is more, because you can get carried away. I mean, if anybody can make sense out of that, I mean, there's a lot of work there. I can see what's going on, but the visual hierarchy is just an overload. You can't understand what is going on. There's just too much to make any sensible digest from it, even though it's with the information there is probably quite good. I don't know what's going on here. Again, a lot of information coming at you, and you've got to think, where am I meant to be focused? I mean, if you can imagine a senior manager or an executive trying to answer the question, where in the world do I need to focus? What do I need to do? What am I making a decision on? Okay, sometimes you get them looking like this. That's all very nice, but you can see the issue here. You can put in all the icons and charts, but it's got to be able to communicate a message. It's got to be able to communicate what's going on with the business or a part of the business. Okay, what you don't want is to maybe have a cockpit a dashboard in your car that simply shows every single thing that's going on with every component of the car. There's no need for it. Okay, what you want to do is understand the most important things. So, what's going to be our approach to this design? There's two things. First of all, the design of it and the build of it. Okay, don't overcomplicate. As we just saw, you want a clear visual hierarchy about what is going on within that dashboard. Number two, be aware of branding. I'll get to the color palette in a minute. Again, one of those things that is hidden in Excel that you didn't necessarily think was required, because a lot of us, when we think of Excel, we just think maybe conditional formatting, green good, red bad, amber maybe. There's a little more that we need to delve in when it comes to the dashboarding, and designed for your audience to assist their decision making, to show them that the business is going well, particular metric is working. Okay, and one screen. Try to get this all on one screen. Okay, so what you don't want is that clutter that you try and push everything to people's visual hierarchy. What you want to do is just settle on the few things that are important. For example, I hope this is. Oops, sorry. I'll give you an example of the sort of thing that hopefully we can get to here. So the sort of thing I want to get to show you how to build is something that looks like this. Okay, fairly easy. We've got just a few things here. Now, there's going to be a few people that says, "Oh, so and so component is missing. You know, where's the budget or something like that? Where's a marker? Where's the up, down, left, and right?" All of those you can put in. All I simply want to show you is what's possible at a base level and how to get these sort of things and how to start using those and getting confident with the fundamentals, if you like. Okay, so building it, what you're going to need is a single flat file. Now, how that flat file gets put together may take a bit of work for some people. What you've got to do is there might be some duplication within there, but for the most part, what you want is a single flat file. Can you build a dashboard that works on multiple flat files? Yes, you can. We're not going for the complicated. We're not going for the higher advanced level anytime soon. What we want to do is just get the concept out to people. Okay, dashboards aren't magic. Okay, what we're doing here is that we will need to do some cheats and some workarounds. Okay, with pivot tables and summary charts. Okay, and that's why I say pivot tables will only get us about 80% of the way there. Around that, we need to put some clever checks and some tidying ups and so forth. A word about color. If you look on Excel, and I'll just get Excel up here for us. Right. If you look at Excel, you will see there in the page layout, there is this facility here where you have colors. Okay. Now, what you can do is customize those colors. Okay. So you can customize those colors and get them looking like this. Okay. Now, why that's important, if you can just see the drop down that I've got there on screen, is that it allows for various types of shading in a consistent palette, in a consistent manner. So importantly, let's say if your company has certain colors that you want to be employed within this dashboard, this is where you make those changes. Now, I'm not going to go through this here and show you exactly what needs to be done, but it's not that difficult. What you simply do is you can have a custom, let's say custom number 10. Maybe I might want this to be more of I don't know, this sort of color. Put that in there here. I'm going to save that. And now within my colors, I've got a custom 10, and that can change the look and feel. So you can see it's changing all that. This is what's important. But the reason I put that in there is that it gives you a consistent color hierarchy to to your dashboards. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to show you. We're going to start from scratch, and I'm going to walk through how you how was the how to put this together. So let me just show you my flat file, like so. I'll presenting. And let me stop presenting here. I'll stop presenting that, and I'll move over to my data file. Now, this is the flat file that I'm looking at. What we have here is individual customer numbers, and what I've done here is to give every customer's sale over a 7-month period. Okay, some of these files can go on quite long. This particular file, I've got about 1,000 clients. I wanted that 1,000 clients because I'm doing various countries and various sale types, and I wanted to show you how that all splits out. So this is the sort of thing the flat file is looking at. The sort of and what it is, we want to have a look at. Let's say you think I want to actually drill down. Part of the point with a dashboard is the ability to drill down. What we've got here are what they call slices or a timeline. You can have those over years, months, days, for example, and you can say what has been the sales for, let's say, January, February, and March, and it'll show you what's the profit for that. Let's say that you're only interested in the Baltic regions. So you want to have a look at Estonia. Sorry, let's just click off all of those. So you want to have you want to focus on, for example, just a few countries. Let's get rid of. Let's go Austria, Czech, and Germany. Well, have I got? Oops, I'm going all over the place here. Just a moment. Sorry about this. Latvia and Estonia. So I can see what's going on for just those 3 regions. I might only want it for the technology sector, and I can see what my profits and what my sales are. And I can see, for example, here that I can see, for example, here that Netgear and Juniper appear to be the main vendors here. Coming down to here, I can look at the sorry, that up a bit bigger. Make that thing on the run here. I'm using backup. I do apologize. We can have a look at these loyal customers. Make up for the majority of my customer base. Okay. Again, just turning these slices off, and we can start bringing back. Now that is, let's say, for the entire sales period, we've got 2.5 million, made a profit of 0.6 million. And so this is the sort of thing we want to get to here. Okay. Again, there are all manner of variations, and there are probably pieces of information there that would be best suited. All I want to do is just simply show you how to put that together. So the first thing to do is to put in a new sheet, and I'm going to call this information, info. And the reason I put that in there is I'm going to put all of this is run off pivot tables. Let me show you just sort of behind the scenes here of what's going on. All of what's populating here are pivot tables, and we are running pivot table charts off them. Sometimes they don't quite work, like for example, the map chart doesn't necessarily work from a pivot base, so we have to put what's called a helper table there for it to get that information. But this is how we're all going to put this together. And after a while, you'll start seeing that all of these are just simply repeats of the same thing. All I'm doing is just simply showing you different versions of what this looks like. So I'm going to put that down there. So I've got a map of what I see. Just one moment. Okay. So on here, we just simply put pivot table summaries. Make that a heading, if you like. And I'm going to put here sales. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is to get that. I'm also going to now put another thing here called dashboard. This is going to be our final dashboard output. This is what it's going to look like. So, sales, I'm going to simply take this, and like I said, if you know your way around a pivot table, this is the easy part. Table design, summarize with pivot table. It is summarizing the table on front of us here. We want to put this in an existing worksheet. Let's put that at info. Let's put that right here. Okay, let's get some dates in here. So we'll put the month end date. Now, what Excel has a habit of doing is thinking you want this broken down into months and quarters and years. We don't want the quarters, we'll pull those out. We don't want the months, we'll pull those out. All of it does still give us the December right through to June 2026, and we want the value of this. Okay, that's how we want that pulled together. Excuse me, dashboard. Good. Okay. This is the entire balance these are the entire balance here. What we want to do, for example, start off with is simply making a chart. Now, all of us can make charts, but what I want to do, remember the how I told you that you've got the shape management, the color management. Let me show you the sort of things that you can do here. So first of all, simply go up here, pivot chart, and let's just take something simple like this. We put that in there. Now, what Excel will give you is a lot of extra. If you look at the dashboard, so I'll pull that up here. What I've done here, this chart, sales chart here, is that I've gotten rid of that extra. Okay. So put that down there. Sorry, excuse me. Put that down there. Running onto your screen. My apologies. Okay. So what we want to do is get rid of some of these things. Simply right-clicking those, hide those. We want to get rid of this as well. And we want to get rid of these as well. And all we're doing is just removing the junk, for lack of better words, so that we can get something that looks a little more. Moving some of the junk. This you can keep there if you wanted to summarize in real time. But so taking the charts here, let's just minimize that. Taking the charts here, right click on that format data series, and we can start doing the same sort of things that we were doing with PowerPoint. One of the things I like doing is a gradient fill, and you can use something of that sort of nature here. Make this, let's say, bold, so like so. And let's put that so, and put in some data labels. Let's put those in the center. Add data labels. Now, one of the things that we can do here, text option, moments, format data labels, number, lots of numbers there. Again, let's summarize this, because what we're looking at here is to try to make things as simple as possible. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but if you type in, if you let's say get a number like this, okay, we've all got that. If you wanted to, that's 5 million. Simply right-clicking that, getting to the format cells. Putting I'm sure we've all done this. Okay, but if you put a couple of commas after it, what it does, it takes it, rounds it up to thousands. So instead of seeing the 5647774, we've got 5.6 million. Now, it still keeps what the value of the number is. It just simply shortens what it looks like on screen. So that's what we're doing here. Now, let's say with our dashboard, let's do something, first of all, with our dashboard. This is where we get a little artistic. Let's first of all make the background something a little dark. Let's say something of this. And we're going to make this monthly sales dashboard. Nice and simple. Okay. Make that a here. Semi-bold. Okay, so we've got monthly sales dashboard to start with up here. Okay, let's say for example I wanted to find out what my total sales were. Let's start with we've done a chart, but let's quickly start with a let's quickly start with finding out what the total value of it is. Now, that is the XLOOKUP formula. You might want to take a screenshot of that. That's one of the workarounds I was talking to you about. This is where we're going to have to use XLOOKUP. Now, it could go XLOOKUP grand total. I didn't want to do that because there are a lot of people here that don't simply, that aren't working with English-based Excel sheets. So what that will do is actually look up the last number of that. I won't walk you through the formula, but simply taking the screenshot, I can explain it to you a bit later. What that will do is give us this. Now, I can have it like that. Let me show you what this will do. I'm going to take now, insert shapes, take this. I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to make it a color like so. And I can put up here, total sales. And formatting very much like what you would have done with PowerPoint or Excel. Sorry, with PowerPoint. Now, if I wanted to get this figure into there, I'll show you how you do it. This is where the fun starts. Take a text box, like so. Just put a couple of placeholders in there, the equal sign. Okay. Highlight it. Go to the formula bar. Equals that value there. And it comes up like so. This is going to be the basis of what we have when we're making our dashboard. However, remember what I was talking about visual hierarchy. That, for example, is probably a little too complicated. And you probably want to make that a bit bigger. Maybe put it in a different color. Excuse me. I'm sure you'll agree that number there, it's kind of hard to read. It's 515 million. But what we want to do is have that in a digestible form. Now, what you can't do is format the number in that object at the object level. You have to go back to the data source. And this is where you have to know a little bit about your formulating, your formatting, pardon me. And here we can go, we're doing this in euros. So euros. Okay, euros. So there's that. However, and let's see. However, we don't want that whole amount. Remember, you put a couple of commas there. And hey, presto, it looks like that. So now I've formatted this 515, 270,330 into 515.13. And hopefully that's come up here on the dashboard as well. Okay, I hope everyone can see that. A very handy thing to have. Okay. Now, the lining up of this and everything, that does take a bit of time, but let's build this bit at a time. We've got ourselves a chart here. Now, what I want to do is put that chart, let's say, insert shape here. Let's say I want to put a shape, let's say I want to put like so. I want to put my chart there. Now, simply put, take your chart, X, cut, highlight that, and paste it in there. Okay. Now, you'll notice that it's got the you'll notice that I can't see the shape behind it. Simply put, click on it, right click, format shape, chart area, and you want it to have no fill. Now you can start seeing where the color palette, for example, becomes important because that you can't really see it. The colors are a bit distracting. So what you can do is say, right, I wanted it green, but let's say I wanted it that kind of green. or I wanted it maybe that sort of yellow, oh, sorry, purple, pardon me, colorblind, or maybe that sort of blue. Okay, that is why the color palette there is very important. It allows you that flexibility at a later stage to change what's going on. Okay, so that's how we would put that there. Again, up here, what we can simply put is highlight this and simply put in sales history in millions of euros. Pardon me. Let's just move it to one side, get to it. One side, get to it. Change the formatting like so. Make it larger, make it bold, realign up your chart. Then you can start doing the similar things like you might want to, for example, just change how your data looks and so forth. Okay? But what we've got there is, and the other thing is, uh, you will see this leaving maybe some footprints. Keep an eye on because sometimes it'll leave a border. Okay, you might not have seen that there, but sometimes it will. I'll just show you here. I go on automatic border. It leaves that white border around, which can be a little distracting. Simply go into border, no line, and you've got yourself a something there. Now, to keep them together, so that you move them around because what you'll do is as you're designing your dashboard, you will have some design confusion to kind of squeeze things in. Again, this is something that AI can't do. Like PowerPoint, you can put the two together and you can group those two things. So now, sorry, pardon me. So now, by simply selecting that, you've got it all moving around there. And you can say, well, I want to put it here, put it up here, I want to put it down here. So, okay. So let's move on quickly now to profit. The same sort of thing is around. We go to data, we go to design, summarize with pivot table, existing worksheet. We want to put the location right here. We're going to get a bit of room there. You could put these in different sheets if you wanted to. I like to have them all in one info sheet, so I've got one source of everything where it goes to. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to find out what my profit is. So I have the month end date and I have my profit. And as you can see here, Excel has done again, assumed that I wanted quarters, simply drag those to remove. Now, on something like this, what I might want to do is also maybe have a profit margin. Now, what I don't want to do is to start going between tables when I can just simply have a calculating field, and I can go profit margin, and that is simply the profit divided by the balance. Now I've got profit margin there. That's on an individual level if you need to see it. So that's what there. I'm going to have that. Oops, sorry. Profit margin. Oh, sorry, I hit it twice. Pardon me. Try again. There it is. Excuse me. What happened earlier? Profit margin, we simply add that. And we want to show this up as a field setting, number format, and you simply want to show that as a percentage. Going there like so. So now what I want to do is get maybe get a pivot chart. I want to have a combo chart. Okay. I want to have this. So now what I don't want, now again, we're just going to remove the junk. Hide. And hide. Finding all the down so it looks like that. Just a moment. Let me just check what I did last time. Page chart type, excuse me. That here. Bottom there is the profit margin. We want to, excuse me. And again, same sort of thing here. What we want to do is have a gradient fill, for example. Maybe choose a different color again. Sorry for the whole thing. Pardon me. Gradient fill for the whole. Sorry, gradient fill. Pardon me. For the whole place. We might make it a slightly bolder color. You can start changing these around as well. Might want to make it something of that sort of nature, just to show the colors there. Now, again, same sort of thing what we're doing here. Let's say we want to put a profit margin down here. Insert. Show. How are we going for time, Mark?
You've got 20 minutes. 20 minutes
20
left.
minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes left. Okay, then fine. Right. So probably won't get to the entire dashboard, but I do want to show you quickly what these look like. I want to show you the country map, and I also want to show you the sliders. Okay. It's a little longer than I expected. Again, color hierarchy. You might want to put that there like so, making this profit. Okay, make it capital. Consistency helps. Okay, now what we want to do here is now I want to get my profit dashboard as well. My profit, you can change the spending chart if you like, but again, taking this, the dashboard, put it here, and it's putting it together in such a way where, right, you can see what the profit margin is. You might want to put add data labels, and same thing here. Format data series. Sorry, format the number, text options. Sorry, label options, number, and by now we should start seeing the custom showing up here. That, for example. And again, what we're doing is simply taking the full number. That is still 16.7. That's actually 16.7 million. We're not showing the entire values here, 16,668. Okay, just summarizing what's going on. Format chart type, we don't want a fill. And wait a second, sorry, pardon me. No fill. And again, you can see that it's going through, and we've got a chart object that we might need to pull down a bit there. And bold those up a little bit, tidy them up. So going a little faster than I thought. Bold those up. So we've got that. Now, next thing is everyone gets excited about. Well, let's do now. So this is our profit. Let's do country. Now, this is where we have a bit of fun. So we can start putting in a country map. So again, same thing that we're looking at here. Okay, design, summarize with pivot table. We want to put that in an existing worksheet. Info, country here. And we want to split it by country. And we want to take the balance. Now, despite what it is representing, pivot chart here, it says, I want to put a map chart, but you can't. So this is where we have one of our workarounds. What we have to do now is very simply put in country, balance, and we simply take it from the from the country from the pivot table there. It's balance. Okay. But all the way down. It doesn't matter if we kind of scoot that way. We don't need a grand total, so we can eliminate that. Remove grand total. Okay. So now we can overlay that and we can go insert maps, country map. Okay. And now we've got ourselves a country map. Now, the country map uh, functionality that you've got in Excel is a little tricky and hard to deal with, but we can work around it quite simply. First of all, get rid of the junk. Secondly, you can right click on, sorry, format data series, and it will allow you to, let's say, have a different kind of map projection. What's important? Map area, only regions with data. That's what we want. Boom. Okay. And map labels, maybe show all. So we've got our countries there for those who aren't so good with geography. Or we can have none. What we can do is add data labels if we want. And again, we're looking at the same sort of value issues that we have, format data series, number, go down, we've probably got it now in our custom type, and it is sitting right there. And does that work? It doesn't work. The thing is, though, that you can have these as mouse overs as well. So, and map labels, sorry, series color, you can have up to 3 colors. Okay, that will differ varying on value. So, let's just take this now. That. Let's just put this in our dashboard. Okay, so put in there some data. We get data labels. No, we can get data labels. Map labels. That's what only. Okay. Now we've got this. We don't want it filled. Excuse me. Okay. And what we'll do is simply go insert, put a shape behind that to give our map some very similar to what you were doing there. You can actually send this to back. So it's on there like so. Okay. Change this any way you wish. Again, you can have the color. So you might want to lighten it down a little bit. You might want to have it, I don't know, as a gray. You might want to have it as a value like so. Entirely up to you. This comes down to your color palette, but again, you can see that it allows you some flexibility. What you might want to do here is regional split. Have that as oh, and so forth. Right, and you'll notice here that we've got a line around our map. What we do is we don't want that there. And again, always good practice to take the map and your object and to go here, show format, group those together. So now, depending on where you want to place it, you can put all those together. Now, one more thing I want to do. This is all great, but how do we all get this information to react with each other? And that comes down to something called a slider. Now, I'll show you what that is. Insert a slicer. Now, we can insert a slicer based upon a particular type of data. So in this particular case, we're going to talk about country. Okay. So what we want to do is maybe split these up because I know we're short on time and I'll just simply show you the concept of it. What we've got here is a slicer that, if I just cut that there and put it into my dashboard, let's say here, I can actually say I only want to have a look at the sales for Austria. I only want to have a look at the sales for the Czech Republic. I only want to have a look at the sales for Hungary. But some of you are already thinking, hang on a sec, Brad. I noticed that only the sales history seems to be going. Profit margin and the pretty map doesn't seem to be doing anything. You're dead right. Let me show you what you have to do there. You right click on this, and it is report connections. And what we want to do is join those other pivot tables together so that now they all start showing what's going on. Okay. Now, if you want multiple countries, for example, a few questions here. That's good. Okay. Let's say we wanted to run a regional, well, let's say Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. Let's say we want to do the Baltic nations. Okay, what it has done here, it has only taken the profit, the history, the sales history, and the regional split of what we've got for all of these countries. Now, let me just go over here, the balance. I'm going to format this because this is where it's taking its data. I'm going to format this so that it has our custom of this. Actually, I'm going to do one more thing. So now we go over to our dashboard. If we hover over, it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. Okay. Another thing that we can do, and I'll just simply end on this one, Mark. Again, I understand that time is of a premium here, got a little bit over. Again, let's set up another. Because we've got a date here, what we can do is also set up a timeline. And this does look a bit bold and brash, but let's take that off. Put this on our dashboard. And let's say I want it on month end. Now we're going to have our report connections. I want this, and this is something I'm sorry that you will have to do for all of them. I want to, let's say, split down what my sales are on a month-to-month basis. I could do that on a month, quarterly basis. So let's say I wanted to find out what the Baltic region is doing in Q1. Okay, Q2, Q3. There's no Q3 numbers. That was a trick question. But you can see what's going on here. It allows me to put all these together. And now I can start being a little more versatile with narrating that. Now, if you remember what we were talking about already, so I'm sorry I didn't get everything finished as much as I would like to, but I hope I've proved concept there that building this together and working your way up to something that will take a little bit of time, but allows you to be a little interactive. So you can say to your, so when you get a call out from, let's say, your sales director, how did we do in January for the manufacturing sector in Estonia and Latvia and Lithuania? It's going backwards, sorry. You can actually start answering some questions. Okay, when you say, well, what did that look like over the quarter? You can start seeing the same thing here. It's just for, let's say, the manufacturing. Let's say the guy in charge of the Dell account says, how did Dell do in those regions? You can start calling that out. This is the visual storytelling. And not only that, the interactivity that you can start playing with when you start building these dashboards out. Now, I'm going to just put the pause on here right now, Mark, because I know we're getting close to the bottom of the hour, and we did want to just discuss a few more things. But I hope people can see the power and the versatility you've got, even just by spending a little time teaching yourself here and seeing what type of information and what sort of narrative, what sort of story you can start telling your directors, your own team, how to put these sort of things together. Again, things like this, these can be changed in color, in format. You can make your own format by changing various parts of this. If, for example, if you wanted this to be maybe 2 columns, you can have that that as well. And these slices can be for any variable within your data set. We could, let's say, look to, where is it? Here we go. So we could, let's say, look through, like I said, the sector, the vendor, and then all of these are sort of linked together. So all of the charts and the dials start making sense there. So, Mark, I'm just going to put a pause on that, but I hope that that makes some sense to the folks watching.
Well, as I said in the text just now, a few minutes ago, when you started doing the country stuff in particular, was a big wow. So I think as an introduction to what's possible, just as we say, just from Excel. Thank you very much indeed. And as I mentioned, we're going to be running this again in September, over 2 hours or possibly more. Welcome everybody's comments and ideas if there's anything extra you'd like us to add. So yeah, it's been absolutely tremendous, and thank you very much. I know you put a lot of effort into putting it together, Brad. Yes, the bad news is, or the good news is, or the bad news, depending how you look at it. The workshop will be €79 per person. All right, so please, but please come and join us. I think you realise it's going to be well worth it. So yeah, okay. Also, I think something else I should add. Thanks to your pulling power, Brad. We had a record attendance today of 87 people joined us at the peak, which is absolutely wonderful. So thank you all, really, genuinely, thank you all
Thank
for
you very much.
being with us today. That means a lot that you've taken an hour out your day to be with us, but we definitely hope it's been worthwhile for you as well. So the recording will be available. I'll let you know when that's when we've edited it and so on. We'll make that available. Yeah. So if anybody wants to add anything else, please do. Brad, anything you want to close on?
No, just to say with the workshop, what I'll be doing is getting some sample data sets, not just for sales, but also credit, inventory, a few that I'm working on, let's say, enrollment for, let's say, schools. These are the sort of templates that I want to provide for people so that they can see themselves how this interacts with this, interacts with this, interacts with this. And there's also all sorts of little shortcuts and fancy things that we can be doing as well. I just wanted to really show people the power of what is available. It's been hiding in plain sight for years for all of us. But what I want to do, if you do come to the course, it will be live and interactive. You can fire questions off. We'll be having a live data set that we'll be building our first sort of dashboard. In real time, people can say, "Hey, I don't get this. Hey, I don't get that." That's exactly what we're looking to get. And like I said, you'll be getting some sample data sets as well, and we'll be showing how we can put this together. But if anybody's got any questions or anything they'd like to see about this sort of thing, please let me know, and I can include it in the course that I'm designing as we speak.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. Jason just reminded me that Callisto, we also have an advisory group, 8 people that come from all different walks of life and experiences. So if there's anything at all to do with credit, order to cash, or indeed beyond, please get in touch with myself as well, either through LinkedIn or direct on my email, mark@callistogrand.com. And yeah, so we're looking forward to this one in September. It's going to be, as Brad said, live, and any info that you want us to include, we certainly will. So I think we're good. We brought it in bang on time. Well done, sir. Get yourself a well-earned cup. So once again, everybody, thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, God bless, and we'll be in touch very soon. Thank you, and goodbye.